June has left or been transferred, who am I going to be assigned as a new primary care doctor?
Let me take a look here. It looks right. It looks like right now they have a virtual provider covering until they have a new one, or I can switch you to a new provider that's taking patients there. It looks like
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd rather have a new provider that instead of just like having somebody different every time.
Gotcha. Let's see here. And this one was actually a nurse appointment, so I could schedule you with your same nurse if you wanted.
I've never met this. Oh, is it the nurse that was working with Dr. June?
Yes, her name is.
I met the guy, the man nurse. Who is the guy nurse that greets you, that does the blood pressure and stuff?
Let me see here.
What was his name?
I'm looking for any notes in your chart. Let me see.
It's the nurse that has worked with her directly. That is the one that takes your blood pressure and stuff before you go in to see her. He's worked with her for years at that Ramsey clinic.
Okay, let me see if that's. Okay.
Do you work? Are you there? You don't know who I'm talking about? He's worked there for years. Where are you
He works
located?
at call center, so no, I don't.
Well, I called the
directly there.
Ramsey. Well, I called the Ramsey VA, and you're telling me nobody picked up the phone when I called the Ramsey VA. Where exactly are you located?
We answer all the phone calls for them, and we schedule for them as well.
Okay. So I'm making this phone call because this is the second time that I've had a VA, like a primary care person, be like moved on me, or somebody that I like, a doctor gets moved around, so then I don't get to see that doctor that I liked. And this has happened to me multiple times within the VA healthcare system.
Okay. Did you want to talk to a patient advocate?
I want to be assigned a new primary care, or I want the name of the nurse that was working with Dr. June. If you're going to put me with a nurse, I want to be with the nurse that was working with Dr. June, because they already are aware of who I am, and it's a guy nurse. It's a guy nurse who's worked there for years with her. Okay, so is there some kind of problem finding his name? He's been there for years. I don't think you know what you're talking about. I don't think you know what you're doing. Do you know what you're doing? There's a nurse there that's been there for years.
Do you want to talk to a patient advocate?
No, I want to talk to
Or I
you.
can try to
No,
help
I want
you.
to talk to you. I want you to figure your job out and do your job accordingly
Ma'am, I'm
to
doing
help
my
the
job, and
veterans.
I'm trying to
Well, I
figure
asked
it
you
out
really
for you.
specific questions and you're not answering. Well, who's the name of the
All right,
nurse?
let me get you to a
No, I'm
patient
not. I'm not asking for that.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you're gonna hang up on me now. Okay, thanks. I'm recording this. Oh, they're gonna hang up on me now. This is what happens at the VA. This is how we're treated at the VA. They move if we get a new doctor, especially if we're on the targeted list, like I am. Okay, if we get a new doctor that we like, all of a sudden they'll be moved around on us, and then we'll just get the runaround,
Thank you
and
for
we'll get.
calling the patient advocate office at the Minneapolis VA.
Oh, now we get the
We're sorry that
voicemail.
we missed your call. We're either with veterans.
Oh
or
yes,
on
of
the phone.
course, voicemail, so we can
If
just
you're
give you the
calling about
runaround.
claims or benefits or disability.
See, that's a CIA tactic. Okay, so I've been, the reason why I'm recording this right now, so you can see for yourself what happens. So I had this really nice primary care provider named Dr. June. She was my primary care doctor for several years. She was very good, really nice Asian lady. and she was very professional and very nice. And I mean, I don't really have any major health problems, but because of all the stress, I have had issues with high blood pressure. I can tell you that's really the only thing. You know, but thankfully I don't have a whole lot of health issues other than that. But you know, the stress is of the being a whistleblower. You know, stress can kill you. I mean, it causes. I mean, I've been under unbearable stress, so I've had to have some medications for anxiety and different things like that. And she's always been really nice. Anyway, apparently she got moved. You know, and apparently she's no longer there anymore. So I don't even know. I don't have a primary care. So that's why I was calling, and I was like, so am I going to be assigned a new primary care person, or am I just going to get the runaround here and I can't get, you know, my medications or whatever I need? And they just completely gave me the runaround. Okay, completely gave me the runaround. And I had requested a physical therapy, and I've done a video exposing the physical therapy area there before, because I had such a bad experience. It was like laugh worthy. You know, I went in because I've been T-boned several times, attempts on my life for being a whistleblower. Okay, so I have like a hip. They're soft tissue injuries. It's not like I had a broken leg or a broken hip or anything, but it was like I got T-boned, so it was like jammed. You know, it's like I got pushed into the dashboard and my thing jammed under the, you know, so it's like considered a soft tissue injury. So they were trying to do some things to release the soft tissue trauma, and it's hard to find somebody that specializes in that kind of thing, and so it's taken me a long time. And but I was thinking, since they started implementing this physical therapy at the VA, that maybe I could try that. And but I can't do certain exercises because it hurts me to do certain exercises, and I go in there, and all they wanted to do was, you know, to give me a list of exercises that I could do on my own at my house. They didn't want to actually work with me, you know, work with me on any kind of therapy. And I was like, well, I could have figured this out on my own. I'm already doing these type of exercises on my own. I really don't know, you know, what was the point of coming in here. And then I did have one physical therapist try to do some dry needling. They have something called dry needling, and I thought, well, okay, I'll try that. But then it was like every time I went in there, it's only a half-hour appointment, and he spent over 15 minutes or more just reassessing every time, you know, like how the last treatment was. And I was like, really, dude, you just used up my whole 15 minutes of that I was supposed to be getting therapy for your reassessment. And so, I mean, he did a couple of dry needling sessions, and I didn't notice anything. So I requested at the patient advocate, I requested to be, I wasn't satisfied with the physical therapy, so I requested what's it called, you know, outpatient. Because under Trump, he did something called, we can request outpatient care, because there were so many veterans dying on these waiting lists. There was hundreds of veterans that died on a VA waiting list in Phoenix of cancers and different things. I never got any treatment. Phoenix was the worst VA in the whole country, and that was because John McCain is Khazarian Mafia. Okay, so I've been, you know, putting these pieces together for a long time. John McCain, you think he was Mr. Hero, and he was the opposite. Remember, when you're a Satanist, you know, it's the cross is like this, right? Down below. Everything is opposite for them. Okay? The real cross. Okay? I'm with the real cross, the real Christian. And so basically, when you're a Satanist, everything is the opposite of you know, what the truth is. So anything that came out of his mouth was a lie. Anything that, you know, when you're a Satanist, it's the opposite. Like, you know, that's why the media, I mean, you know, it's pretty much, it's like, I knew like whoever was surrounding John McCain and whatever they said, I knew it was the absolute opposite of that. So whoever is friends with John McCain, he's my enemy. Okay, so whoever is friends with these, and Lindsey Graham is Khazarian Mafia. So, you know, whoever is friendly with these type of people, that's your enemy. You know, you just figure it out after a while. Okay, so anyway, I just did this video on over the weekend where we had no hot water heater. Okay, so I'm just making these phone calls so people can see what we're going through here with these. We have like I said, the sheriff has been threatening our landlord, and we all suffered without any. Even though he has insurance on the appliances, the sheriff would not let these people come out. So over the weekend, thankfully we have one of the guys here that's kind of maintenance, that's kind of mechanically inclined, and they had these parts here, and he did put the one part in, but there was two parts that were supposed to be put in, and he didn't know how to put the other part in. So now I'm going to call Centerpoint Energy and see what's going on, because I can't get anybody to do their job. So I'm just.
This call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance purposes. If you smell gas or suspect carbon monoxide at your current location, please move to a safe location and call back. Otherwise, to report a gas leak or carbon monoxide, say emergency or press pound.
Customer service. Okay, so.
Thanks, Louise.
His name is Hector Louise, yes.
Sorry, can you tell me a little more about why you're calling? Like, make a payment. You can also say...
Customer service.
Sorry, tell me a little more about what you'd like to do. Like, make a payment. You can also say, here are my options.
Customer service.
All right. After you speak with a representative, may we ask you a few questions about your experience today?
No.
No problem.
I don't have time for these
surveys.
surveys.
Hold while I connect you with someone.
Ridiculous.
Thank you for calling Centerpoint Energy. My name is Adia. Can I please have your first and last name?
Adia, my name is Debbie Davis. I'm the house manager at 1401 at the house of this Hector Luis Perez. He's the owner of the house, and he's got insurance. Okay, and so we've been waiting for them to come back out they ordered the parts of the water heater, and they've been sitting here, but they haven't come back out to put them in. So I'm inquiring. I called over the weekend. They had my number. I gave him my number. I am the house manager here. So we're wondering what is going on.
Okay, gotcha. All right, give me just a moment.
Thank you for calling Centerpoint Energy. My name is Miguel. May I have your first and last name, please?
Miguel, my name is Deborah Davis, and I'm the house manager of Hector Perez residency. And I called over the weekend and gave them my information, and they came out last week to look at our water heater, because we haven't had hot water, and then they ordered the parts, and they were sitting here, but they haven't come out to put them back in.
I see. Were you guys scheduled a couple days ago in order for this?
Yeah. Well, they kept. Yeah, I called on Saturday, and then and they couldn't come out until super late, and then one of the renters upstairs said it's too late and turned him away, and he didn't even try texting me or ask the rest of us, and we were furious at him because we were expecting them to come, and we said it was okay. We don't care if we're still up or we're sleeping. We want it fixed. But we had the one renter upstairs, Alan, turned him away. So we weren't able to get it fixed. So are they going to come back out?
That is incredibly unfortunate. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing on our end, is that he was turned away, and that's why he wasn't able to do it.
Yeah, he didn't bother asking. There's 5 other people in the house that are furious. He didn't bother asking any of us because Alan thinks he owns the house. And we've we don't know why he did that, and we're furious. So they're still sitting here, and we're wondering when he's going to come back out. The parts are here.
I will go ahead and give you guys an estimated date and time on when he will be out in order to install those parts for you guys.
Okay.
Would it happen to be just one part by chance?
Yeah, just one part. Because actually, the one guy who's fairly mechanical figured out how to put the igniter in. And so we do have hot water, thankfully, but there was another part that needs to be put in. So he just needs to put the one other part in. I think it was the mower, or I mean the fan thing. It's like yep, just that part. We did figure out how to put in the other one.
That is good to hear, you guys.
Yeah.
Looks like the next available date and time that I have for a technician to come out there and install that power vent is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's a power
going to
vent,
be
right.
For tomorrow, July the 30th, between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Will that be okay with you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll just make sure if somebody is here. We'll just have to work together. But do not go upstairs. Go around the side door in the back. Because Alan will probably try to turn you away again. I don't know why he does that, but he's just a jerk. So just go around the side door where we are. Downstairs, and so you don't get turned away again by Alan, because and they were just doing whatever they were told by one of the, but he doesn't
doing what he was told. It was like, if it was too late, then what am I supposed to do?
Hector assigned me as the house manager, and Alan's not the house manager, so I don't know why Alan thinks that he has any kind of control or power over anybody, but he's not assigned to be anything here.
Gotcha. I'll go ahead and put you down as the primary contact, Deborah.
Yeah.
In order for him to reach out, letting him know whenever he is on his way.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Gotcha. Would the best phone number in order to reach you, Deborah, happen to be the one ending in 2892?
Yes.
Gotcha. Would this address happen to be in a gated community by chance?
No, it's not gated.
Thank you. Now, I do want to go ahead and advise you that somebody 18 years or older does have to be home during this installation. All pets must be put away, and there is a clear path to that appliance.
Yes, there is.
And that should do it for you, Deborah. I have you all scheduled out for tomorrow between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. for a part installation for your water heater.
Okay.
Is there anything else I can help you with tonight?
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for calling Centerpoint Energy, and you have a great day, miss.
Okay, you too. Thanks.
Take care.
Okay. I mean, I just, it's to the point where it's so ridiculous that I have to record these phone calls. Okay. And so, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry to to have to do that kind of thing. But people need to hear what's going on here. I mean, they're targeting the rest of the house has to suffer because we got the mason upstairs working with the mason cops that thinks he owns the house. I mean, he's crazy. Like he thinks he owns the house just because he's a mason, and he thinks he has some kind of authority just because he's a mason. And nobody put him in any kind of a control role here. It's all in his own mind. And like over the winter, it was super cold, and we were requesting to use the bath upstairs. I mean, we all pay rent here, so we all have to share whatever. But there's only one bathtub, and it's in the bathtub upstairs. And the one girl here, she was like, I would like to take a bath, and he's at first he told her no, and she's like, no, who do you think you are? We all pay rent here. And he's like, well, okay, I suppose between certain hours you can. And we were like, I'm sorry, did we have some kind of meeting that we don't know about you telling us when we can take a bath, or I mean, we all have to share the bathrooms here. Okay, so I had bought a plug because it didn't have a plug upstairs for the bathtub, and he twice he stole the plug. He stole the plug out of the bathtub area there, so we just couldn't use the bathroom because it's all about Alan. It's all about him and his Mason buddies. They think they have the power and control over everybody. It's all about power and control. Okay, and so we just said whatever. Okay, so that was what happened over over the winter with him. But yeah, he just has it in his mind that he is has some kind of control or something over every decision in this house, and nobody put him in charge of anything. Okay, so I don't know where he's getting this. It's all in his own mind, and we're tired of it. So, okay, the other thing I wanted to say is this situation with this VP pick, JD Vance. I'm sorry, where did he come from? I have no idea who this person is, but I can tell you what I do know is that it looked to somebody that he has some kind of a mask on, and that they think it's this Juan O'Savin guy pretending to be JD Vance, or just changing his name. He's like a master of disguise, this Juan O'Savin guy. And Carrie Cassidy, who I respect very much. I mean, I used to watch her videos for years. She was interviewing whistleblowers for years. She's Project Camelot, it was called. Project Camelot. Okay, so Carrie Cassidy has talked to Juan O'Savin over the phone multiple times and tried to figure out who he is exactly, and she did figure out that this is JFK Jr., and just he's apparently saying, that he died in a car, in that plane crash. But she said, basically that since I've talked to him multiple times now, I have, figured I know it's him because of what he knows. Only somebody of his stature or whatever would know some of the things they talked about. So she believes this is JFK Jr., John. He was John F. Kennedy's son, and apparently they said he died in a plane crash many years back. But he's been living underground, just using different, different names and stuff. And apparently he didn't die, and I thought, okay, well, we all thought that JFK Jr. was a good guy, and we thought that him and Trump were friends. But when I've heard this Juan O'Savin talk now, I get so frustrated with him because he never gets to the point, and he's talk around the subject. It's like he has all day, like we have all day to listen to his stories, and I thought, how dare you, with what I'm going through as a whistleblower, like the trauma. It's like a daily effort just to stay alive as a whistleblower and as a targeted person. And then he gets on these shows acting like we have all the time in the world to listen to his stories. And I was like, this arrogant prick, who do you think you are? And so I didn't like that. And then I also noticed that he never says Jesus. Okay, he'll say God. Well, the Masons will use the name God, but their God is not the real God. Their God is not Jesus. Their God is Lucifer. It's the opposite. They're Satanists. The Masons are Satanists. And so, and we have been infiltrated in our police and sheriff and multiple different agencies with these Masons. And so I figured out, so I believe this JFK Jr. is a Mason. Well, a lot of those families were, but there were some good Knights Templars mixed in with the Masons, and some of them were good, some of them were bad. A lot of these families, they're either in the Knights Templar, Masons, whatever, and the Knights Templars were originally good because they were the original group, secret society that was in charge of protecting the biblical relics. They were all like secret societies, but the Masons started infiltrating, pretending to be their friends, but really they aren't. Okay, so they stole some of the secrets, some of the relics, all this stuff. So this has gone on for years now. So apparently JFK Jr., and then he kept saying JFK Jr. is still alive, and and that and they tried to say that him and Trump are friends, and that he's going to be the vice president. Okay, but then I've been calling out this Juan O'Savin guy, and Carrie Cassidy has been calling out the fact that she knows this Juan O'Savin guy is JFK Jr., and she's gotten in fights with him over the phone because these stall tactics and these runaround tactics, giving us just the runaround. You know, she is used to interviewing whistleblowers. She gets right to the point. It's just like, okay, you know, I've had a show, a worldwide show, interviewing people over 20 years, and I can't get this guy to get to the point. He just, you know, gives me the runaround, and she's gotten extremely frustrated with him, and so I believe this JD Vance guy, you know, might be this Juan O'Savin guy just wearing a mask. Okay, so I'm just warning you. I mean, these Masons. Okay, so then we would have Trump in, and then if Trump dies, it would be this Mason guy wearing a mask that would be the vice president. Okay, so this is what the pieces that I'm putting together today. So this Juan O'Savin guy, I've talked about this before, but he was, when I first heard him, he was talking on Field McConnell, Abel Danger's radio show. He had a radio show out of Wisconsin, and he was apparently, you know, he apparently had this child rescue thing. Well, I mean, it turned out that he was a complete fraud. He was arrested. He never had a child traffic thing. He was a Mason, and he had this Juan O'Savin on multiple times on his show, like they were buddies. So in this Field McConnell just turned out to be a total fraud operation, trying to get money, pretending to save the children, and he wasn't. He was a Mason. Okay, so this is just wanted to give you an update on what's going on today.